And then you just have to videotape everybody at the end.
Is it lighting up?
It's on. Okay.
CIPC-free is a common label used on potatoes that are being sold in stores. Most of us know what CIPC is, but assume that it's a chemical, and because it's not on the product, that it must be better for you. I believe the chemicals are the reason our farming industry is booming, and after doing in-depth research, I found out that many others do as well. Those who believe that chemical-free farming is the only way will learn the negative effects of this type of farming, while those who agree that with the use of chemicals will learn more about the organic and non-organic chemicals that are seen today. Today, I will persuade you to think positively about the use of chemicals in agriculture by talking about the agriculture without chemical use, how they solve these problems, and the benefits of chemicals that are being used. Not many people know what agriculture would be like if the use of chemicals weren't around. These chemicals, however, are not as harmful as they sound. These chemicals that are used include fertilizer, herbicides, and pesticides. Fertilizer is used to increase the fertility of the crop or plant, causing growth, and herbicide is used to protect the crop from unwanted vegetation and weeds. And pesticides are used to protect the crop from insects and pests that can potentially spread the disease or cause the plant harm. Chemicals are used to protect humans, crops, and the economy. Without these chemicals, plant growth and survival rates would fall greatly. In the 1930s, crop yields in the United States were comparable to those of India, England, and Argentina. Since the 1950s, use of petroleum-derived pesticides, fertilizers, and a host of governmental policies have vaulted the U.S. into the biggest farming economy in the world. Today, fewer farmers feed more people than ever before in the history of food production. J. Roger Hathaway. If the use of chemicals were banned, the acreage of farming would need to be increased greatly in order to keep up with the feeding a growing population. We are feeding more people now because of chemicals than ever before without the use of chemicals. Import and export of fruits and vegetables is also greatly affected by the use of chemicals. Strawberries imported from Venezuela require 7 chemical treatments between the time of the export until they arrive in the U.S. Without these treatments, it would be impossible to transport the food products outside of local boundaries. If farmers did not use chemicals, whether these are organic or synthetic, entire crops would be wiped out and stability of our food supply would be destroyed. Insects spread disease to plants and humans. Written by Martha Martin from YahooNews.com. Over the last few years, Florida has been the culprit of the citrus greening disease, which is a bacterial disease spread by insects. This causes the Florida orange crops to lose over 18% of the yield per year. This causes yield to go from 1 million boxes of fruit to 750,000 boxes, causing an annual loss of $9 million from the fresh food alone. Consumers have also been affected because the rise in orange juice costs. The profit is 30% less than in previous years. Pesticides are now being used to protect the crop, and the problem is slowly deteriorating. This shows that the use of pesticides is positive for both the economy and for the crop. The chemicals are used to solve these issues. Like the one in Florida. There are 2 classes of chemicals, organic and synthetic. Organic chemicals are found naturally in the environment. These products include rotenone, pyrazine, and clove oil. Clove oil is used to burn potato sprouts in storage. However, it is very harmful to humans and all other animals. Clove oil is very potent and will burn skin and other surfaces, such as carpet, if there is any residue left over. It is harmful for many weeks after the application. On top of the effects that clove oil has, it is very costly, takes many applications, and is not always available, just like any other organic substance. The other types of chemicals are synthetic chemicals, which are man-made. These are the most popular in farming because they are less costly, highly effective, and only required for a few applications per season. CIPC is a synthetic chemical that is used in potato storage to prevent sprouting. Sprouts dehydrate potatoes as well as produce toxins that are harmful to humans and animals. Many people think that organic chemicals are the only ones that should be used because they are found naturally in the environment. When synthetic chemicals are tested for cancer-causing agents, about half of them are found to be carcinogenic, which causes people to look down upon synthetics. Recent research has also shown that half the natural chemicals are also cancer-causing agents. Organic chemicals are chosen by the USDA's Certified Organic Program, and synthetic chemicals are approved by the USDA as well. Each type of chemical is used and tested for residue after application, consumption safety, and the environmental impact both 5 and 10 years after the first application. Some chemicals have been proven to be less harmful, but both synthetic and organic chemicals have harmful factors which cannot be taken away. Granted, most organic chemicals do not cause reproductive issues in life like synthetic chemicals do. The use of chemicals is proven very beneficial to the farming industry. In the article Crop Losses by EC written in 2005, 34% of crops are lost to weeds, and 16 to 56% of crops are lost to pests and insects when chemicals are not used. The amount of loss depends upon the region of the crop, but there is still great loss in crops without the use of pesticides or herbicides. This means that while the farmer harvests less of the crop, loses money, and the cost of the crop rises due to the lower availability rate. With pesticides and herbicides being used, more than 90% of a crop will survive each year, causing the farmer more profit and lower consumption prices. Without pesticides, U.S. food production would drop and the food prices would soar. With lower production and higher prices, U.S. farmers would be less competitive in a global market for major grains, cotton, and peanuts. U.S. exports of corn, wheat, and soybeans would drop 27%, with a loss of 132,000 jobs. A pesticide ban in the U.S. would decrease year-ending supplies of corn, wheat, and soybeans 73%, trigger price instability, slow U.S. food aid programs to poor countries, and increase worldwide hunger. Case S. Deplain. Today I told you about the organic and synthetic chemicals, how farming would be impacted without them, and how they solve these problems, along with the benefits that they provide. Next time you see a sign saying CIPC free in a store, remember that it does not make the product any better for you. In response to this speech, I would like everybody to research positives and negatives behind different chemicals and not using chemicals at all, before making the judgment on whether they are bad for you or not. Chemicals are not all bad. They were originally intended to help everyone.